that point.
This hasn't happened yet with Threads, but you're eventually going to hook it into ActivityPub, which is this decentralized social media protocol. It's kind of complicated in layman's terms, but essentially people run their own servers. So instead of having a centralized company run the whole network, people can run their own fiefdoms. It's federated.
Yeah.
So Threads will eventually hook into this.
Yeah.
This is the first time you've done anything, I think, really meaningful in the decentralized social media space.
Yeah, and we're building it from the ground up. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've always believed in this stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of
really?
this hasn't. Yeah, I mean,
Because you run the largest centralized social media
but I mean, it didn't
platform.
exist when we got started, right? And I think the project of like, I mean, I've had our team at various times do the thought experiment of like, all right, what would it take to move all of Facebook onto, some kind of decentralized protocol? And it's like, that's just not going to happen. There's so much functionality that is on Facebook that like, it's way too kind of complicated, and
the technical debt
support all the different things,
Yeah.
and it would just take so long, and you'd not be innovating during that time. And I think that there's value in being on one of these protocols, but it's not the only way to deliver value. So the opportunity cost of doing this massive transition is kind of this massive thing. But when you're starting from scratch, you can just design it so it can work with that. And we want to do that with this because I thought that was one of the interesting things that's evolving around this. Kind of the Twitter competitive space is a lot of the others. There is a real ecosystem around that, and I think it's interesting.
So what does that mean for a company like yours long term if people gravitate more towards these decentralized protocols over time? Where does a big centralized player fit into that picture?
Well, I guess my view is that the more that there's interoperability between different services, and the more content can flow, the better all the services can be. And I guess I'm just confident enough that we can build the best one of the services that I actually think that we'll benefit and we'll be able to build better quality products by our products making sure that we can have access to all of the different content from wherever anyone is creating it. And like, I get that not everyone is going to want to use everything that we build. I mean, that's obviously the case. I mean, it's like, okay, we have 3 billion people using Facebook, but like, not everyone wants to use one product. And I think the making it so that they can use an alternative but can still interact with people on the network will make it so that that product also is more valuable. You can increase the quality of the product by making it so that you can give people access to all the content even if it wasn't created on that network itself. So I don't know. I mean, it's a bet.
Yeah.
I think it takes some confidence, but I don't know. I think it's both good to give people choice. I know there's kind of this funny counterintuitive thing where I just don't think that people like feeling locked into a system.
Yeah.
So in a way, I actually think people will feel better about using our products if they know that they have the choice to leave, right? And if we make that super easy to happen, and obviously there's a lot of competition, and I mean we do download your data on all our products, and like it's people can do that today, but it's, the more that's designed in from scratch, I think it really just gives, creators, for example, the sense that, okay, like I have a
agency.
Yeah. So in a way, that actually makes people feel more confident investing in a system if they know that they have freedom over how they operate. So I don't know. I think like it's maybe for phase 1 of social networking, it was fine to like have these systems that people felt a little more locked into. But I think for the mature state of the ecosystem, I don't think that that's going to be where it goes. So I don't know, I'm pretty optimistic about this. And then if we can build threads on this, then, maybe we can, over time, as the standards get more built out, it's possible that we can spread that to more of the stuff that we're doing. We're certainly working on interop with messaging.
Yeah.
And I think that that's been an important thing. The first step was kind of getting interop to work between our different messaging systems.
Right. So they can talk to each other.
And then the first decision there was, okay, well, WhatsApp, we have this very strong commitment to encryption. So if we're going to interop, then we're either going to make the others encrypted or we're going to have to decrypt WhatsApp. And it's like, all right, well, we're not going to decrypt WhatsApp. So we're going to go down the path of encrypting everything else, which we're making good progress on. But that basically has just meant completely rewriting Messenger and Instagram Direct from scratch. So you're basically going from a model where all the messages are stored in the cloud. It's like you're completely inverting the architecture where now all the messages are stored locally and just the way that they're...
While the plane's in the air.
Yeah. So I mean, that's been sort of this like heroic effort by just like 100 or more people over like a multi-year period. And we're basically getting to the point where it's starting to roll out now. But now that we're at the point where we can do encryption across those apps, we can also start to support more interop, which I think is going to be
with other
services
like Meta that Meta doesn't own, other messaging apps.
Yeah, well, I mean, the plan was always to start with the interop that between our services, and then to get to that. But yeah, we're starting to experiment with that too.